right. Well, let's get to some real questions. Obviously, we did have some sent in, but I'd love for those that are here, right? Let's engage with you guys. What questions do you have? We really truly
Literally
do want this to be as much value as possible. All right. Anything goes, just ask away. We want to try and bring this audience who's taking the time out of your morning to engage. I want to bring you as much value as possible. So feel free,
goals,
put it in the chat.
Mindset, goal, strategy, business, ideas, thoughts.
If you want to talk, we can give you the mic, or you can put it in the chat. You can put it in the Q&A, whatever you want. I can pull up the couple that came into. Let me pull that up. So there was one that came or messaged to us. So one of the agents asked, what would you say to an absentee owner that has a renter, has decent rental income coming in, but is wondering if now is the time they should cash out still? What would be your script to them?
Great question. And this is a very, very, very important question. And I'm glad you asked, whoever asked that did a great job on this one. The issue, here's the point. Never, ever, ever sell real estate. Ever. It's the best investment you can ever possibly hold long term. Right now, we're going to have bumps and hits and all this type of stuff along the way. But if you go back to the beginning of time, right through today, what has real estate done? What will real estate continue to do? Even if it's 3, 4, 5%, right? We're not going to have the 15, 20% years like we have right now. That's an anomaly, right? Phenomenal anomaly. That should be a song. I like that. So, but that's what we're going with right now. But here's the issue. If you have a better use for the money, take it. This is the best time to cash out, but only if you have a better use for the money. To take it out and stuff it into a savings account, making you 1%, that's stupid, right? Don't do that. If you have a tip on a great crypto stock that you think is going to do a 10x by January, and you want to roll some of that, do that, right? If you think you want to knock out some debt, you want to go put in a pool, you want to use that cash for something, right? Take it, but don't sell it unless you have a better use for the money, right? That's the whole point. So when you're talking to the absentee owners, that's the conversation, saying, great job buying this asset. Phenomenal time when you bought it. Looks like it's doing well for you. You've got a great tenant. You got some good cash flow. Phenomenal. If you want any more, I can help you find some more. But if you have a better use for the cash, this is a very good time for you to take some chips off the table and deploy it somewhere else for some capital. Maybe buy another property. Maybe do something, whatever you want to do. But that's the conversation, guys, is get out of the sales mind and become an advisor and remind them that it's the best asset they've ever bought. I mean, and really is a great one. So if they have a better use for the cash, take it. If they don't, let it ride. That's my answer on that one.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I think the summary there is become the advisor, right? That's really the role we play. I gave a talk to the real estate club at UT last week, and they asked some great questions. I mean, literally, we did probably an hour and a half of just Q&A, and these are some of them are licensed, some of them are in the process of getting licensed, but these are people, getting a real estate degree from a university, right? So they asked a lot of questions, and I think their concern, being from a younger generation, a lot of their questions stemmed around like, what is going to be the role of the real estate agent? And as technology and everything continues to evolve, right? You got AI, you got all these things. And my answer to that is the one piece that that AI and technology can't take, right, is that being the expert at the end and guide someone through, right? If you're creating value or placing all your value and opening the door and showing them where the kitchen is, you've already lost. You've lost in this world, never mind when AI continues to develop. There's going to be ways to do that without you ever being involved. There already are. So that can't be the value. Where your value is when 15 offers come in, which one should they take? When they have questions on where should they put their money, should they cash out, should they take equity, what should they do? That's where the value is, right? So to me, it's all about putting value in yourself in the right spot, right? And what value are you bringing to them? And it's certainly not showing them around. It's not putting the sign up in the yard. That's the easy part, right? They can do that themselves if they really wanted to. The real value is everything that comes next and really guiding them through the process. And in my opinion, at least in the foreseeable future, there's not a piece of technology that's going to remove that part of it. And so to me, that's where all the value lies. But cool. Let's see.
That's an interesting conversation. So that was the biggest concern, right? Is what's our role in the future from the graduating group?
Yeah, so they had a lot of good questions. That was one of them. Another one was, with the pressure from Opendoor and Zillow and all the iBuyers and all these new, Wall Street money coming in, what was the value that a brokerage like us could bring, right? And what was the pitch to someone like that? That was a big concern. And then understanding the traditional real estate model, right? So, how is a big brand like Century 21 going to keep up with these mom and pops that might be giving higher splits or might be doing this or leveraging technology more? And, I think that's one thing that I never like to speak to Century 21 at the corporate level because we're not there. But I do know that the one thing that I'm always proud of with what we've done at Century 21 Beggins and D3 is, yes, we have the big brand logo, but we are the most progressive C21 that I've come across, where we are constantly innovating. We're constantly bringing in the newest partnerships, the newest technology to leverage. So we're keeping up with those trends. I think their point is that as they've been talking to other brokers and other agents and other people in the real estate community, the real estate industry in general is kind of behind. Right? They're not adapting. And there's a lot of old school brokers that are not adapting to the new challenges that are coming. And, one of the things that I tried to get across to them is it's all about service and solutions, right? So the biggest thing is Zillow, Realtor.com, all these guys, they have to play in a box and they only play in their box. They're playing in their lane and they have to do things at scale. Right? They have to. That's their business model. That's when you're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into something and you want a return on that, it's got to be at scale and you have to have parameters, right? It's just like home partners. They're annoying. They'll only buy these things and they have these set, but that's fine. That's the way they invest, right? The beauty that we have is there are no restrictions. So we have solutions to anything. You want to rent? Great. You want to buy? Great. You want to sell? Great. You want a renovation home? Great. You want to invest and flip? Great. We can help you do all of those things. And we have tools and partnerships to help you do that. That's where I believe the agent will still win. The brokerage will still win. If you're able to provide solutions to any problem, anything that they need, then we will win, because that is something that Zillow cannot do. That is something that, all these iBuyers, they will not do. They're going to play in their lane, right?
And they don't want to do all those things. They want to stay in
they
their
have
lane.
Zero desire. Zero.
And I think you're right on. Where I'm sitting right now, I'm watching or getting the oil changes right next to a nice high-end car wash. And while you were saying there, the 4 different Mercedes drove by. Completely different models, completely different styles, completely different price ranges, right? For a reason, because Mercedes is smart and they realize that there's different buyers in an industry. And now they could have been, we're only going to build this, and they would have been okay, but they wouldn't have had scale because there's only one market that they're going after. So I think our role, to your point, is going to have to expand, be that agent of choice, be that advisor, be that trusted advisor that can help them truly get a palm tree, that knows where the air conditioning guy is, that knows the best seawall guy, that knows the best school counselor, that knows the best programs, that knows the best place to put your kids in for an engineering background, right? That's the value add that we're going to have to bring. And we need to be bringing it today, right? Let alone into the future. So I think that's important, is to really niche into your world. If you're going to be the expert in Davenport, then be the expert. Like, know everybody, be the mayor of that community, and you won't have to worry about people disrupting you. If you're just another person that has an agent license, you're in deep trouble, because there's a million of you. Chuck, you typed in that one of the biggest problems is it's way too easy to get a real estate license. It's almost a joke. It's laughable. It's laughable how many people have a real estate license. It's embarrassing how many people have the real estate license, right, in this business. And
I took the 63-hour course in about 40 hours, right? Because the way they do the courses online, you can go at your own speed.
And now you're licensed to handle the largest financial transaction in most people's lives.
It was stupid easy. Stupid. I mean, literally stupid. The way that the process is set up.
You know how much longer you would be in school to get a haircutting degree?
Oh, months. It's ridiculous.
It's not. So guys, think about the value that we bring, because that's an important aspect of it. Is you've got to go deep, and you've got to go really, really into that niche where you want to be specialized. And then competition's irrelevant. It really is. And there is, but it doesn't matter. All right, keep going.
Yep. All right. So someone put in the chat, does C21 have any health insurance options, discount suggestions? Yes. The biggest suggestion, obviously, NAR just came out. I saw the other day that they have an option now as for real estate agents for health insurance. But Century 21 specifically, really, if you decide to get the Spark membership, go on 21 online, search Spark. There's a lot of benefits that come from that. You've heard Jeff and myself talk about Forewarn, which is an app in there to get phone numbers. That's part of it, but it's like $70 for the year. And part of that is you get access to health insurance and discount options that's basically offered to all of Realogy, which is Century 21, Global Banker, Better Homes and Garden, ERA. All those guys are all part of it. So that would be my suggestion there. Josiah said, I'm not going to be able to invest in real estate because I'm so young and don't have 2 years of verifiable income. So I'll be forced to wait for 2 years. What would you suggest I invest in the meantime?
Interesting question. That's a very limiting belief, by the way, Josiah, because just because you don't qualify for a normal vanilla box loan from Wells Fargo doesn't mean you can't invest in real estate, right? I was just talking to Blake, one of our agents over here. He's doing a hard money lender loan on a triplex that he found. And he was able to save up some cash, and he's going to put down, he saved up over $100,000 over the last couple of years. So he's taking that $100,000, he's going to put that down. He's got a hard money lender for the other 220. And now he's going to have a triplex that's going to spin up enough cash. So yeah, he's paying a little bit higher interest rate, significantly higher interest rate for the next year or so. But as he gets that cash flow going in, he now can refinance that property to get a fixed loan on that one. So it's a strategy. And yes, it's a disadvantage not having 2 year verifiable, but it's not an excuse. But you just have to attack it at a different angle. And there's always a way. There's always a way.
Well, this is the perfect question for me, though, because this comes back to, are we interested in investing in real estate, or are we committed to investing in real estate, right? Because it sounds like Blake's committed. Because is it riskier for Blake to have a high interest, hard money loan in the event that something happens and that triplex doesn't spit off enough cash? He's in not a great position at that time, right? Now, is there anything in the foreseeable future to show that? No, right? But it's irrelevant, because if Blake's committed to owning that triplex, he's doing everything he needs to do to go do it. And the hard money loan is his opportunity to do that, right? So he's saying, you know what, screw it. I don't care. I want it. This is how I can get it. I'm going to go take the risk and I'm going to go do it. Right now, to me, I don't have 2 years of verifiable income is an excuse. And the only time we make excuses is when we're not fully committed to the outcome yet. So if you're fully committed to investing in real estate, to Jeff's point, there is absolutely ways to do it right now. Now, maybe you're saying, I'm not that committed though. I don't want to take that risk. Great. That's a different conversation. Now we're getting down to, okay, well, we're not truly committed then to investing in real estate at this moment. So now we need to look at our alternative options. And so that's when you can look at your traditional investments like stocks, if that's something you want to do. Personally, I like crypto, so I invest more in that world than I do in stocks. But that's where you start to look at your alternatives, and especially looking at what's your comfort level at the moment, right? Of what risk do we want and how much are we looking to invest? Crypto is great because you can invest very small amounts, let that grow, reinvest, and play that game. But at the same time, nothing's a guarantee, right? When we look at investment, there's nothing, right? Outside of, putting it in a compounding account that's going to get you very little return over a period of time. That's really the only time you're guaranteed anything. So you have to really assess what that risk level is, but ultimately, what do you want to have happen? And if you are 100% committed to investing in real estate, you could do it today. There's may not be the traditional route.
There's also some of the pre-construction projects that we do, right? There's risk, but it's an investment in real estate without having to buy the real estate because they're assignable and you can sell it. Now the risk is the market takes a dump now in the next 2 years and you're stuck, but that's called risk, right? There's no reward without risk, right? So there's those opportunities. Get a few buddies together, put down $100 and something thousand bucks, and you can have something like that. Right now, that's a possibility. So, but you got to think about what to do. I mean, the stock. I'm really glad we're on this topic because it's the most important topic here. We have to invest in things that spit off cash flow. Have to, right? Or else you're going to be 95 years old on the hamster wheel and then die. Right? That's not what you want. That's not what we want for you. We want every one of you to be independently wealthy and have freedom, financial freedom, right? That's the whole name of the game. And Josiah, you need to just take a breath and know that you got plenty of time. But I love that you're thinking about it and save right now is time for you to stack cash, right? I wouldn't be too freaked out about deploying all of it now. I would be strategic about what you want to buy, right? And say, okay, maybe it's a triplex, maybe it's a quad, maybe it's a rental house, maybe it's a short-term vacation property, whatever it is that floats your boat. You need to get very clear on that one and talk to the lender. And maybe it is an 18-month play for you and say, okay, in 18 months from now, I'm going to buy a $400,000 duplex, triplex, quad, wherever it may be, commercial building in Idaho, whatever it is, doesn't matter, right? But you know that in order to buy a $400,000 something and it's an investment property, you might have to have 30% down. So now my game is I need 120 grand in cash stacked that I can now deploy on something, right? Don't worry, don't get too caught up on what do I do with my 23 right now, right? Or my 62 right now, because you've got an option. Your 62,000 right now equals 30% of something. Okay, so you could buy $180,000 something now, but then you've blown your stack, which is okay. Let's go get another stack, right? So I just want you to be clear on what you're going to buy, because right now you can go buy this. If you stack a little more cash, now you can go buy this. Is it worth waiting? I don't know, right? If you have what's your long-term plan? What's your vision? How much money are you looking to have coming in for you on this particular investment, right? So you need to have a number saying, okay, I want to have a life that I can live on 30 grand a month. Let's say that's the number. So what do you need to do to bring 30,000? That's a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. So but it's a good number. It's a good number because the 30 grand, that's a lot of cash. If you needed that, then maybe it's 6 different things that spit off 5 grand, right? Maybe it's 10 things that spit off 3 grand. So where's the first one, right? Let's go get the one that spits off. I don't care if it spits off 2 grand a month, $1,000 a month. You're there, right? You're on the steps to get there. And I'm not saying you're going to retire to sit on the beach sipping pina coladas, but you're going to have freedom, which is a huge luxury, right? So what is it to go buy? What is it that you want to buy? What is it what's your strike point? What's your vision? What's your takedown, right? And how much cash do you need in order to do that? Now, to buy it traditionally through a Wells Fargo investment portfolio, you're going to need 30% down. Are there some investment loan companies that you might be able to get in with 15% or 20%? Yeah. Is the interest rate going to be higher? Yeah. Could you buy now with a hard money lender at 16%? Yeah. Right. And maybe you find such a great deal, you're buying under market, and you know you can turn it into short-term rentals and you can cash flow it, and you're willing to pay the stupid rent or rent of the money, interest rates, to buy the cash flow now. You just got to get precise about what you're actually trying to buy. Does that make sense? Boom, I just want to know exactly what we want and save that cash up.
Yeah. That's where the clear knowing, if you clearly know what you want to happen, that's the first step, because then you can really strategically plan for it, right? The problem is if you don't know what you want, like truly want, it's impossible, because you're not going to plan accordingly and you're not going to make decisions that actually help get you there. So that's the challenge with that, right? All right. So Chuck had asked an interesting question. I believe it was Chuck, but talking about EXP compared to, are the big brands going to adapt, and what is Century 21 and Realogy going to adapt to it and try and make agents aware that moving to EXP isn't a good idea? And the answer to that question is no, they're not. And here's why. And at the end of the day, at least with Century 21, obviously Coldwell, most of their offices are NRT corporate owned offices. With Century 21, they're all independently owned and operated. So Century 21 really has no control over what the brokers are doing from that perspective and what they want to offer. At the end of the day, though, while we do have BE3, which is our cloud base, which is, quote unquote, a rival to EXP, the answer is you would be stupid to tell someone that they shouldn't go to EXP, right? That would be like you telling someone, hey, you shouldn't drive a big truck because it burns too much fuel, or you shouldn't drive a Prius because they have zero power. Who cares that they, don't emit any fuel, right? You shouldn't drive a 2-door because you need a bigger car. Who are we to tell you that? That's a personal decision, right? Guys, at the end of the day, if we did not support you guys, provide you with enough data, empower you, educate you, and encourage you to the point where we are helping you as your business partner to wake up every day and be the best you can be in the real estate world, then we're not the best fit for you, right? That's our job. And in my opinion, that's where we add the most value. We wake up every single day, this leadership team, to help make those that are with us better. That's it, every day. And that's our goal. As agents, right? You are independent business operators. Who are we at any time to tell you you should or should not do something? Now, do I believe that you are in a better position with a broker like us who's got your back, who's going to provide support? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, it is your personal decision on what you want to do and what's right for you and your family. And I am never going to be one to sit there and tell you you shouldn't go do that because that's bad. No, your decision. Make it. Be educated. Same way if you're going to go shop for a car, you do your research. You're going to shop for a brokerage, do your research, right? We've had people switch from EXP to us for that very reason. They went there, they discovered for themselves that it wasn't right, and they came back. So there's no one right answer for anyone. There are people that love EXP. There are people that hate EXP. There are people that love big brands like Century 21. There are people that hate big brands like Century 21. There is not one size fits all. All we can do at the independent level is give everything we have to create an opportunity and a framework for our agents who we view as our business partners to be the best that they can be. That's it. And if we do a good job at that, then we're going to have a really solid team. And we do.
That's right. I think one of the best quotes was regarding our agents and our whole team is train you so you can leave, and treat you so well and provide you enough value that you don't, right? And that's kind of where we go as your business partners, guys. I mean, look, think about our job, same as your job. Thank you very much. It's to bring you guys value so you have the best damn life you can have. And tell you, I'll call you right back. And have the best life you can and take you to levels of freedom, whatever that is. And I think it's providing value. And same thing you're doing to your clients, right? Every one of your clients, everybody in your farm, everybody in your sphere, they've got a million options. They know 12 different agents. So why are they going to be with you, right? What value are you bringing to them, right? Because they could switch on you in a heartbeat. They can go over to Joe Blow Realty, who will whore themselves out for $1.50 from the listing side, right? Why are they ever going to work with you? Oh, good. Then that's the issue. And what value are you bringing? That's the question that we have. What value are we bringing, and keep bringing? That's the point. So, but you got to have that value proposition for everywhere you're going. I'm pulling out of my.
Well, and I'll let you guys in on a little secret. We don't want every agent, right? So
right.
The way we've set this thing up, EXP is having, I saw someone say they're going full court press, hard sales tactics. Great. Good for them. They have to, because they want every single, if you breathe, they want you in somebody's downline, right? That's not us.
That's going to be a circular firing squad, because you get the agent from California and Idaho and Toronto and Germany is now trying to get you to work on their team, right? That's the funny part about it.
Yeah.
It's gonna. So I don't know.
That's just not the way we operate, right? We operate on the tactics of, we want like-minded people who want to have fun, who want to make money, who want to engage, who want to be better, who want support, not just from a real estate perspective, but from a mindset perspective, right? EXP doesn't have a Chris. One team within EXP might have a Chris who's helping you with mindset every week and helping you with business planning, but not everyone, right? Not all of EXP. You get one voice with us, despite who's giving it, whether it's me, Chris, Thomas, doesn't matter, right? You're getting one voice, one message, because the leadership team here all is on the same page, delivering the same point of view. You're not getting that anywhere else. You go to EXP, I saw someone say they have one broker in Florida. Yeah, one broker who you will never, ever talk to or see, ever, because everyone's got their own little team, their own downline, and that's who they care about. So that's who you're dealing with. And every team's different, right? And again, I don't want to talk bad about anyone, because the EXP model is great for some people, and that's awesome, right? There are people within Amway that make a lot of money, and then there's the rest of them. Okay. EXP is the same way, right? So there's a butt for every seat. I would just hope that we're pushing out the right message, the right content, bringing enough value to bring enough to you guys to make it worth it for you and your business and provide for you and your families. And as long as we do that, then we're doing our job, and we're going to have a core group that sees that aligns with that vision. And that's who we want on the team. We want people that align with the way we approach this business. And if you don't, that's cool. There's a spot for you somewhere else. But if you do, I promise you, you're not going to find a more supportive environment. And I'd match that up against anyone.
That's right. I want to hit Josiah's question because I like it. Is there a distance where you shouldn't take a listing far away from your base? And I love this question, because I don't want to use distance as the aspect of it, Josiah. I want you to think about this one for a second. I'm in Madeira Beach right now. If somebody called me and wanted to sell a laundromat in Madeira Beach, right around the corner from my house, I would not deal with that business. I would not take that listing. If they had a single family house, right? Maybe I would. If it was a $10 million single family house, maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. It depends on you. I want you to think about your specialty and where the value is where you bring, right? So if it's certainly, let me answer it this way. If you're in Apollo Beach and you've got a buddy in Orlando, can you take that listing? Absolutely, you can. You could take it anywhere in the state of Florida, but you have to have the MLS and the tools to be able to do that. But Matrix is a huge MLS. It goes all the way through Orlando. Could you take that listing? Absolutely can. You can. Should you? I don't know. I don't know. And the reason is I don't know is because I don't know how much you know about that area, because it's rude to take a listing that you don't understand the market of, right? If you don't understand Lakeland and it's a friend of yours that has a home, it's one of their largest financial transaction investments in their life, And I don't think you should be joking around and playing with it and say you can do it if you're not good at it. I think you should call a specialist to do that. And my analogy to that is, if I'm a great general practitioner doctor and you come to me and your ankle hurts, right? Like right now, my ankle is jacked up. I did something to it. And my normal doctor, I wouldn't let him touch it. I'd let him play with it and see what it was like and get a feel for it. But the only thing I want him to tell me is who I should go to as an ankle specialist. True. And I respect him a lot for that, way more than I would if he said, you know what, lay down for a second. I got this. Here, let me numb this down. Here's a scalpel. I'm going to go in there and take a look. I could fix it. Bullshit. You're not touching my ankle. That's my answer to you, right? So if you're trying to work on an ankle without ankle specialty, you're going to get sued for malpractice if you're a doctor, and you're going to get screwed up and never get repeat referral business if you're a real estate professional. So do not go out of your area of expertise, right? And that includes location and just category. So that's the answer for that one. I would much rather, you will get so many more points from that client by saying, I would love to help you in Lakeland. And I've got a buddy of mine who is a badass ninja in Lakeland. I'm going to team up with him or her, and you're going to get 2 for 1. And I'm going to be there for the negotiation, but he's going to be there with the market specialty. So, and then split it. That's my answer on that one. I'm very passionate about that.
That oil change place you just were at, if your transmission needed to be replaced, would they have done it there?
I would, no, they would not. They would not,
right?
But they might tell me. I would ask them, I would hope they would know some place to send me to.
And they probably would, because the guy changing your oil probably is a mechanic and probably has the skill set to do it, but he probably doesn't have all the tools needed to do it right there, and would probably suggest you go to someone who does to specify what you have, right? The issue you had. So
that's a great answer.
That's exactly what we need.
One of the biggest reason I went and did that this morning was the back left tire was low on air pressure, and there was a nail in the tire about 2 weeks ago. And I went, it was a Sunday, right? I don't have a little time with one of my kids' naps, so I wanted to go during nap time on a Sunday to try to get a tire patched or just fixed. And everybody was full. Somebody could get me at the end of the day. I wanted to get in and get out, and just, I know it doesn't take long. So I was calling around. I finally found this place on Seminole Boulevard that was open. So-and-so tire, right? And I roll up on there, and it's a dirty ass place. And it's 2 guys. I'm like, you know, how hard is it to take a tire off, find a hole and patch it? You know, that's fine. So I pull up, and he goes, yeah, I got time. Here you go. It'd be $35. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And so he pulls up this little jack, and he gets under my back axle here and starts jacking up there. You know, it was a little unnerving how he was jacking it up, but I was like, give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I don't really know how to do this shit. I'll watch. And then he gets his little torque wrench on, right? Takes off the lug nuts. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I get that. Then he tries to pull the tire off, and he can't. And he's pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And I'm starting to get a little nervous at this point in time. Like, dude, you're supposed to be a tire specialist, and you can't figure out how to get the damn tire off. Then he goes and pulls a rubber mallet, big rubber mallet out, right? And he starts walking over to my Mercedes van, right, with a big ass rubber mallet. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's got a little trick to it. And he whacks it. And I'm going, wait a second. Whack, whack. So what are you doing? He's like, oh, man, it's just stuck. I can't get this thing off. I said, what do you mean you can't get this stick off? He goes, these Mercedes sometimes and BMWs, they have this problem sometimes. I'll get it. Just got to work on it. I'm like, put the lug nuts back on. Don't touch my car anymore. Get out. Right? Go out. Put it back on. I'm out of here. Right? Completely. This guy's a tire guy. Right? That's his specialty. And he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Right? He was making shit up with the expertise. He didn't know how to work on this car. He should have told me that. I would have respected it way more than him trying to figure it out. Right? Now it pisses me off. And I will go out of my way to have people not go there because I was wrong. Right? That's a great, just a takeaway from exactly what we're talking about. He's in real estate, right? He's in tires. I assumed he was good at his niche. This is not a normal car, right? And he couldn't figure it out, but he told me he could, and he blew it. I would much rather him say, dude, this is a very unique type of situation here. I think you should go to a place that's better. So I went to one of the major brands. I left it there, a little more inconvenient. Ubered home, had to Uber back. Wasn't planning on it, but it was done right and it was professional, and they did a really good job. Right, that's the whole point. Right, so I thought that was an interesting parallel to this because he was in real estate. He was in the space I expected him to be an expert in, but he's not. So that don't be Lakeland and don't bust out your rubber mallet and start playing real estate is a takeaway on that one.
Yeah, 100%. Right. You just need to be honest and understand what value you can bring and what you can't, and understand that as a brokerage, we have a solution for that. Right. Even locally, if I had a client call me tomorrow that's like, hey, I'm a developer and I want to do a ground up condo hotel. I'm not doing that myself. First phone call I make is to Jeff. Why? Because Jeff is an expert at it who's done it over and over and over again. Why would I not bring him in on that deal? Right. And the same thing that if we have a solution for you, no matter where they are, because all you have to do is email Ashley. Give Ashley a call. Hey, Ashley, I've got someone who needs help in Jacksonville. Hey, Ashley, I need help with someone who in Brazil. Hey, Ashley, I need help someone moving to Germany. Done. To help you in minutes, and you still get paid. You still have full view in the transaction. So this goes back to the point I was trying to make earlier. This is the value you bring, guys. It's the solution to any real estate problem. I don't care what someone throws at you. You have a solution for it. I want to rent. We got it. I want to move to Alaska. We got you. I want to invest in real estate. We have you. I want to do condo hotel. No problem. I'd like to be able to buy my next house before I sell it, but I don't have the finance. Got it. Right. Let's introduce Knock. Whatever you need, whatever the problem is, we have a solution. And that is something that not only does the big boxes not have, like Zillow and all these guys, it's what most other brokerages don't have, because they're all trying to play in this one little sandbox, right? That's not the game we play, because we know that this is fluid. There's so many different challenges out there. And that's where Jeff's experience, Craig's experience, 30 years of doing this, where we know what's going to happen, right? In this market and any market. And so immediately we're looking for solutions, partnerships, and people that we can bring in that are going to help provide you guys with more tools in your toolbox. And I truly believe that as agents of us, you have more tools in your toolbox than any other agent out there. I truly believe that.
Yep. Here's a good question in the Q&A, just typed in there. Just starting out, and the first opportunity could be a listing. What are my next steps? Okay, great question. I almost lost it the other day on a not so new agent that had a listing opportunity. And I said, great, what are the next steps? And it was not the response I wanted to hear, right? And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about the next steps. What are the next steps? What have you done? Well, I'll set the appointment for tomorrow. Okay, what are the steps? And I kind of got that deer in the headlight look, and I was like, shit. Right, next level, Baggins Agents, all the tools sitting at the disposal. Next Level Training Center, everything, Resource Center, everything that's sitting there, and don't know where to go, right? And so I composed myself and said, okay, let's go through the next steps. Next steps are, right, next step is, did you watch Next Level U, the whole bulletproof listing process? Because if you haven't, I really think you should go watch that, right? And so where do I find that? Well, Baggins Agents, watch the replay of Next Level U on that one. I'll call you back. So that was the answer. So, I mean, the short version is, and I said, all right, did you do the pre-qualification script? No. Did you send them the video link? No. Okay. Did you preview it yet? No. Did you go over, do you know where the questions are to ask at the preview? No. Did you know the 11 questions to leave with them? So they do that? No. Okay. All right. Well, I think we need to go watch the process, right? So the answer to this question is, go to bagginsagents.com, go watch Next Level U replay. And the last one's up there, right, Puma? It wasn't the other day, so I just want to make sure. If it's not, let's make sure that it is.
We're loading those in. We had a challenge actually with the way they were rendering on YouTube. So I fixed it. So hopefully everything will be live today and pull in, but not just from next level, right? So I'm actually going to share my screen real quick because this is important. So
And this is let me segment this for a second. This is every one of you. If you are rocking it out and you're doing 20, 30 deals a year and a stranger calls you to do a listing presentation, please go to the steps, right? And just follow it exactly this way and treat it as if you're a brand new agent, right? I want you to just establish the system so it becomes automatic and systematic and easy for you so you can just plug away and do as many of these as possible.
So sign into Baggins Agents. We've tried to make this as easy as possible. So there's a couple areas that you could get to exactly what Jeff's talking about, right? But so one of them, just click on the training. If you are looking for something specific, look here first, right? So we have everything listed out. So to Jeff's point, I have a listing. So let me go into the listing training center. This page is dedicated to listings, right? So everything from the listing process to the listing guide, all of our listing trainings are right here, right? So when this loads, these are all things that you should watch from a listing perspective, but very specifically, and this is a section that really would benefit a lot of you, but especially our new agents. Baggins 101. If I click on this, these are the top real estate questions that you likely have as a new agent. So to Jeff's point, I have a listing lead. Now what? Click on it. This is the video from Next Level that's going through the entire process. Okay, that's number one when this fully loads. And then this next thing that's going to load. So it literally tells you, watch this because this is the training. And then this right here, this listing lead step-by-step guide literally walks you through everything, and to the point where the 11 questions that Jeff even mentions is linked out and downloadable in the listing step-by-step guide. So it literally takes you step by step on what to do with the listing lead. We have the same thing for a buyer. So if you're brand new, get your first buyer that's interested, great. And it walks you through that and step by step with a buyer and what that process looks like. So and this is everything, not just for that, right? But how do I write a contract? How do I hold an open house? Like all of the most common questions that agents have, but especially new agents. That's what this section's designed for. But under the Training Hub, what we've done, just so you guys are aware, and I sent out an email the other day, we did make some enhancements here so that these quick links are very specific. So if you guys are looking for .loop or Zap or Business Builder or contracts or marketing, like whatever you want, we've tried to outline the biggest categories here. And then also in the search bar, we've made it so that really you can search for anything now. So if I just click the search and say, you know what, I really want, .loop, and I click it, it's going to index the .loop training. So I could really come in and search for just about anything. So between this and then the Next Level Resource Center, for those that you that want to use that, that's also a great tool. So it's all here, guys. It's all at your disposal. I just like to show this from time to time because we do get those questions and there's no excuse to not know what to do next because we've literally created a guide to help you with just about anything that you could have there. So I'll stop sharing my screen here, but just want to make sure that you guys know where that stuff is. But we're almost out of time. Do we have any
for that? Putting that whole thing together, it looks great.
Any other questions? Timeline for adding certifications. I've had 2 buyers who want to sell. Both are mortgage free and both pay cash to downsize, not downgrade. I've spent the last week searching for them. It's been challenging to say the least. Any advice on the next step? No, the reality is my only advice to you, maybe Jeff has something different because I'm personally going through this as well with a couple clients, right? I had one yesterday, very close to getting a house, all cash. We lost based on the fact that we came in with a 6-day due diligence period. We waived all contingencies, all cash. We're willing to close on their timeline. And we lost because there are multiple other offers, 4 of which were all cash. 1 waived all contingencies, 0 inspection period, literally was taking the house 100% as is, could not cancel at all, quote unquote, the perfect contract. And they decided obviously to take that one over us. You know, it's frustrating. There's not much you can do. This is the 5th offer we've made. Got another client. We've made 10 offers, all cash, very solid offers, no go. So it's the market we live in. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep going, and you just got to put them in the best position and try and figure out, right? The only reason that we got as close as we did on that last one was because I asked the right questions to the listing agent, because all the other cash offers were doing what most cash offers do, which is we want to close right away, right? We'll close quick. We'll close quick. We'll close in this. We'll close in 14 days. We'll close in 7 days. We'll close. So I asked the question, what would be better? Where are your sellers going? What do they need? What's going to bring them the most value? Well, they actually don't know where they're going to go. So if we had 30, 45 days, great. What if we were willing to close on your timeline, right? My clients don't need to be in right away. What would be the best closing date for you? We'll be flexible. That way they don't need to be stressed at the end. And that got us really close to getting it. We just weren't willing to waive any contingency period at all. And the other people were, and that was the difference maker there. So I bring that up because only thing you can do, in my opinion, is set the right expectation up front, because the reality is they're going to have, this is going to be challenging, but as long as you're continuing to keep them keep encouraging them and keep setting that tone of what to expect and try them in the best position to win, that's your only shot.
They weren't committed. They were interested in the house. They weren't committed to it, or else they would have been willing to waive those contingencies.
Well, it's risky, right? It is very risky to not inspect the house at all and just hope that everything's good.
It is, but it's a calculated risk too. If you're interested enough, you'll let it be. But if you're not, then you won't. Okay. If you're able to handle the upside risk, downside risk, then it's worth it.
Right. No, it is. It's a decision, right? It's ultimately a decision they had to make, and they decided that that was not worth the risk. So, you know, but again, I think it's just about setting that expectation, because then at least it's not on you, right? That decision was not on me. Listen, you waive this, you're going to get the house. You don't waive this, you're not going to get the house. Didn't want the house, right? Bad enough to waive that contingency. That's great. That at least we're setting the proper expectations, and we put them in the best position possible to get the house. Then it was up to them. And that's all you can do as their agent. You just got to continue to guide and set the expectation.
That's right. That's all you can do. Last question. What else do we have?
If we have anything in the chat, let me see. Single agent, we need to put clients above us. Yeah, I agree. Lauren, I see, Jeff, see what you did. This is on you. She's making fun of me. Lauren, that's
what
cool.
Did you say?
I hope you come to Orlando. I hope you come to Orlando, and I might just have to cannonball by you and in the pool or something. She said, I hope you're not wasting your time driving unqualified buyers around. Not cool. Jeff called me out one time. Oh,
hey, the guilt pops up. It's a seed that you plant just to make sure that you don't do it again.
Got everyone against me. All right, I don't see any other questions. Well, if anything does come up, feel free to reach out to us. Obviously, reach out to us at any time. And we're here for you guys. So go crush it this week. And for those that are coming to Margaritaville, we will see you there.
Thank you very much. What kind of week is this going to be?
Best week ever, but it's completely up to us.
That's exactly right, guys. Have some fun. This market's amazing, and so are you. So have a wonderful day.
All right. See ya.
Bye.